The history of world cartography through maps. The cartography Gerardus Mercator said that maps are the ace of history. In the world maps and are reflected to the known territories, but going beyond that, they are themselves the graphic proof of man's interest in dominating the planet. The history cartography is a reflection of man's desires to understand and communicate the shape of the land around him. The territory is which he lives and the ties he established with it. Since the origins, man has had the need to explain the world, to give answers, and to this task that of locating himself on the planet. Maps have undoubtedly contributed significantly. The world's oldest map is a Babylonian tablet dated to the 6th century BC. Technically is a diagram that combines the central schematic map with the description of 7 mythical lands in the middle of the ocean connecting the earth with the sky. The map thus shows the connection between the mythical world as known to the ancient Babylonians, expressed in cuneiform writing. The first map in history was catalogued in 1899. The first world map to scale is in Greece. The first map began to meet with more scientific criteria. They sought to faithfully reproduce information provided by travelers. Anaximander's map was made around 520 BC, although unfortunately it has been lost. We know it thanks to a detailed description made by the Greek historian Herodotus. The first map on the world with a meridian system is of Eratosthenes of Cyrene, was undoubtedly the great reformer to Greek cartography. He made a world map which, although close, has been reconstructed with great precision. The first map with a system of latitudes and longitudes is of the Greek geographer of the 2nd century. To this day, none of the original maps are preserved. The origin of Ptolemy's world's map in his work Geographia, in which he makes a detailed description of what believed to be the world. The medieval cartography, the Hereford map made around the year 1300 and rediscovered in 20th century is something like the cartographic Bible. The map is in the so-called D-in-O format. The first to make this type of mapamundis was Isidore Seville Wald. In his etymologies indicate how they should be made. The O represents the world in a circular form, the perfect geometric shape surrendered by the ocean. The T refers to the articulation on the interior space, while alluding to the cross. Juan de la Cosa is map of Juan de la Cosa was made by this Cantabrian sailor in 1500 in el puerto de Santa Maria, Cádiz. It is the oldest unequivocal representation of the American continent preserved. The man, which can be visited at the Naval Museum of Madrid, shows the lands discovered until the end of the 15th century by the Castilian, Portuguese and English expeditions to America. The map shows the world as it was known at the end of the century. It shows Asia and America separated by an independent body of water. The Pacific Ocean and North America and South America as two autonomous continents. The outline of Africa is drawn according to the 10 latest Portuguese discoveries. The first scientific world map is in 1527 of Diego Ribeiro, a Portuguese under the orders of the King of Spain, created at first map that we can consider scientific as such, using perfect latitudes near Antarctica, North Australia, appeared yet. Mercator's map of 1569, where the linear scale is constant in all directions around in a point, preserving the shapes and proportions of small objects. The projections distort the size of large shapes so that the scale increases from the equator to the poles, where it becomes infinite. The map's legends show that it was conceived expressly for marine navigation. The first atlas is called Teatron Orbis Terrarum. The Peters projections tries to escape from the Eurocentric image of the world and is able to represent high latitudes up to 90 degrees. Minor distortions are found in the middle latitudes where most of population lives. Uh, there Earth in three dimensions is in Google Earth provides maps on the Earth from a combination of satellite imaginary, imagery, aerial photographs, and geography information systems on a three-dimensional globe. The first version of Google Earth was released in 2005 and is currently available in Windows, Mac, Linux. By 2013, it had become the most popular program for visualizing cartography with more than 1 million downloads. Google Earth allows you to enter the name of a hotel, school, or street and different territories, get the exact address, a map or VF of the location. It is also possible to view satellite image of the planet.